A what if the Earth held giants long forgotten? This single object shattered conventional views of deep time. Our journey begins in the early 1600s, a time of limited understanding. A local figure, perhaps a land surveyor, made the initial crucial observation. Add the scale of this remnant defied all known contemporary biology. The locals initially assumed it belonged to a known, massive creature. The context suggested an impossible age for any existing life. But the artifact was sent to learned men in London for interpretation. It arrived at institutions grappling with biblical chronology. The accepted narrative allowed for no creatures beyond those recorded. And this object forced a confrontation with accepted timelines. Weeks turned into months as scholars debated its true origin. Some suggested giant birds, perhaps even mythical beasts. The boundaries of natural history were being severely tested by this find. Now that we understand the initial confusion, let's explore the subsequent investigation. Geologists began mapping strata layers across the region. More bones, though fragmented, soon surfaced in nearby counties. And these new pieces allowed for rudimentary comparison with existing skeletons. The density and structure pointed toward something entirely reptilian, yet colossal. A key insight was realizing the sheer size meant unimaginable ancient creatures. Reassembling these pieces became a monumental puzzle of prehistory. For decades, these behemoth remains were isolated curiosities, not a group. But the concept of extinction itself was only beginning to solidify. These discoveries hinted at entire epochs lying beneath our feet. But it took nearly 2 centuries for a cohesive theory to emerge. The protagonist of this narrative shift was a pioneering geologist. He understood that the layers told a chronological story of Earth. But comparing locations revealed these bones shared a consistent, ancient epoch. But this established the principle life changed profoundly over vast stretches of time. He theorized these were reptiles of an unimaginable scale and lineage. Now that we understand the chronological link, let's explore the reconstruction. The next hurdle was convincing the world what these colossal bones meant. Early reconstructions were often clumsy, sometimes resembling giant lizards. Scientists needed a unifying term for these terrible lizards. The term that would define them emerged from Greek roots. The creation of the first full skeletal mounts was an engineering feat. But collaboration across continents accelerated the pace of understanding. Each joint required precise calculation based on preserved muscle scars. Finally, these giants stood upright, dominating the halls of science. The sheer reality of their existence was now undeniable to the public. The public reaction was immediate wonder mixed with primal awe. Further finds began to differentiate the characteristics of these ancient forms. Unexpectedly, similarities emerged connecting them to modern avian life. Fossilized tracks provided clues on locomotion and herd behavior. But even impressions of skin texture revealed details about their external appearance. The initial, solitary bone had catalyzed an entirely new scientific discipline. What this field, paleontology, now had a foundational, tangible beginning. The legacy of that first bone inspires every field researcher today. But we can now imagine the world these giants once dominated. A massive shadow passes overhead, a fleeting glimpse of the true subjects. Our ancestors sought explanations in myth, the science offered something grander. The growth of our protagonists' understanding mirrors the growth of the field. But that single piece of evidence unlocked 66 million years of history. Today, countless specimens confirm that initial, unbelievable finding. A technology builds upon the foundation laid by those first hesitant interpretations. The simple act of looking closer changed everything we thought possible. It shows science advances not by certainty, but by confronting anomalies. And every new layer of rock holds secrets waiting for the next observer. Be mindful of the small things, they often hold the largest truths. The age of dinosaurs began with one strange bone, found by chance.